All right, I've got to be honest and say up front, I am a big fan of Klaviyo. I use it, recommend it to clients, and that's part of why I was so excited to bring on today's guest on the podcast, Val Geisler. She brought the goods today and had a lot to share about incentivizing that additional purchase without using discounts. Now, Val is a customer evangelist at Klaviyo, and prior to joining that team, she was an email marketing consultant for both B2B and B2C brands. Right? Because she's obsessed with improving how brands and customers connect. She loves digging into the best ways to use different channels to make lasting connections. And Val has got 5 great ideas she's going to share with us. Let's get into it. Okay, Val, let's get right into it. First of all, thank you for being here and sharing today.
Thanks for having me, Adam. I'm really excited to talk to you.
Awesome. So let's talk about incentivizing the second purchase. What have you got for everyone today?
Yeah, I think it's really important, and it's something that is like a low lift for brands to do, and it makes a huge difference for customers. So I see this everywhere from in emails to actually in the package, which in the package itself can be tricky because they have to like keep this thing around for the next month. And I know I have a tendency to lose those, but sending an email at the right time or an SMS at the right time to your previous purchasers to be able to say like, hey, it's been 3 weeks, or, it's the average amount of time that it takes somebody to use your product. This is especially true for consumables, but really any product it works for. Being able to say like, hey, it's been X amount of time, and this would definitely be something you would ask after a review request. So you can make that review request after they've had it for, a week or so, where they've had a good chance to actually use the product. And then this additional incentive on a second purchase is huge because it invites people to come back. It acknowledges the fact that they have already made a purchase with you. And it speaks to that customer journey. So it's not saying like, hey, this is a sale we're running for everyone, but you have purchased with us before, and we want to acknowledge that and use here's this coupon code, or we put in a free gift with the second purchase, or whatever it happens to be. An incentive doesn't have to be financial. It doesn't have to cost you money. It can be everyone who makes 2 purchases gets invited to your community group, or I've seen things like offered an interview on a podcast, because like ultimately not everyone's going to take you up on that offer. Right. Yeah. So some people feel like, oh, that's a big lift. Like what if the hundreds of customers say yes to that? Well, one, great. Then you have a good pipeline of, whether it's like one-on-one calls with customers, or if you do have like a podcast or a YouTube channel or something where Instagram account takeover, I don't know what it would be, but you can get creative with those things. And the chances, I kind of laugh when people say like, what if hundreds of people say yes? It's like, well,
they won't.
Okay. That's great if they do. The likelihood of them doing it though is very slim. Right. So like they're not all going to say yes. If anyone has worked in sales before, it's like you reach out to 100 people and you get 5 people who show any level of interest. So it's like a volume game, really. I think you'll be fine. But yeah, I like making those special offers to people to come back. It's not like increasing your average order value on that first cart necessarily, but it absolutely does when they come back, because then, especially if you gave them a coupon code, you do the coupon code, and now, and then they maybe hit that shipping threshold, but they've used the coupon code. And so now they add a little bit more, and they also just feel seen and heard, and they are more likely to spend with you.
That's really good. And I really appreciate you breaking that down, because I was writing a note to myself, like, what specifically can you do? And then you just went into all of those. And those are really good, because I know, discounts, I'm a big fan of. They have a time and place. I'm not one of those people who says you should never use a discount, right? But it can, when it gets to be the only carrot, it does get a little dull. So I think those are some great ideas you had there, especially, podcast, social media takeover type of thing.
It could be a segment, it could be a segment in your email that, you get a personal letter from the CEO on a weekly basis or something like that. It doesn't have to be, it can cost you time, but it doesn't have to be something financial, and it can be really impactful for your customers.
Yeah. And I think that too, the cool part about this is it can scale. This can work for the one-man band, but this can also scale up and be something that, yeah, maybe there is some interaction with somebody higher up, but someone else can handle a lot of the legwork. So I like this. This isn't you have to do all this yourself. No, you could totally hand this off and have someone on your team doing a lot of this.
Absolutely. And utilizing those tools that allow you to scale it, like saying, okay, well, we are going to build the email segment. So we write the email once, but it goes to a ever growing list of people. And, maybe then you can use that segment for other reasons too, right? Like thinking about how you build out this group of people. What else are you going to want to be able to do with them? Are they people who you want to have one-to-one interviews with? So then now you have this email segment you can send the email to with a calendar link and an invite to come chat. Cool. Just knowing, being able to put this group together. And, some people, it's this, you become a VIP and then you get all these like additional perks. Some people, it just depends on your brand. Like not everyone wants to do a discount. I don't think it should be your first lever you pull for any brand, but I know plenty of brands see success with discounts. It works. But some brands don't ever want a discount. And so you don't have to, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. Adding some value there without detracting from the price can definitely work well. So Val, that was great. I think that everyone can grab at least one thing from this to put into action. I know I've got to go back through here and see what I can start using, but thank you so much. This was really great. So if people want to find out more about what you've got going on and what you do, where should they find you?
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, if you're doing something like this, I want to hear about it because I love collecting the stories of these things actually happening in real life. They're very few and far between. That's the thing about this world, is that everyone kind of does the same thing. So if you do something a little bit different, then please come let me know. The best place to find me would be Twitter. At Love Val Geisler is my handle on Twitter. And you can come find me, send me a message, let me know you listened to this and have some takeaways, or that you are already doing a lot of those things and got really a ton of validation today. But I would love to meet you and hear your story.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
If you'd like to get the key takeaway points from this episode and all other episodes, just go to oasisoptimization.com/insights. That's oasisoptimization.com/insights, and you can get a fantastic summarized cheat sheet. Now, if you want to listen in on more great AOV increasing interviews with experts, be sure to subscribe via whatever your favorite podcast app is. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, Adam Moody, you can always find me at oasisoptimization.com. Okay, time to get back to the real world. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next episode.